Magic fans, happy Monday, April 15th. What an exciting time it is to be an Orlando Magic fan. The city is buzzing. The entire Central Florida community is extremely excited about this Orlando Magic team getting back to the postseason for the first time since the 2019-2020 season, back in the bubble. In year 2 of Paolo Banchero, year 3 of Jamal Mosley, Franz Wagner, Jalen Suggs, and this entire core and nucleus has found themselves back into the postseason with a 113-88 victory over the Milwaukee Bucks yesterday evening. Now, Magic fans, before we actually go ahead and get into today's video and talking about the Magic making this year's postseason, if you guys please could go ahead and drop me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe bell to stay tuned for more Orlando Magic content that we do here on YouTube, and make sure that you guys also go ahead and follow me, Brett James, and Orlando Magic HQ on all of our socials, especially on Twitter. We're both very active and we're on there every single day. But Magic fans, let's actually go ahead and get into today's video. Now, prior to last night's victory over the Milwaukee Bucks at home, the final regular season game for this Magic team, and at home at the Kia Center, the Magic had 3 opportunities to punch their ticket into the postseason, all on the road, and they failed to do so each time in very frustrating losses. You had losses at Houston, at Milwaukee, and at Philadelphia before Orlando came back home and got a big-time 113-88 victory over the Milwaukee Bucks in a game that they desperately needed to win. This was a win and you are in type of situation at home, and even though there was no Giannis Antetokounmpo, who we may not even see in the first round of the postseason, depending on how he continues to heal up with his injury that he suffered, the Orlando Magic had everything to play for, and they came out and they showed out in front of that home crowd last night with a big-time victory. After the Milwaukee Bucks had already gone up 11 points midway through that second period of play after Bobby Portis had hit a 3, Orlando quickly snapped out of it, and they rallied back, and they never looked back. They led by as much as 30 points in that game. After Orlando was down just 11 points in that first half of play versus the Milwaukee Bucks, they went on a 19-3 run to close out that first half as they led the Bucks 47-42 going into the halftime locker room, and then they flipped the switch yet again going into the second half as they dominated the rest of that game, and they outscored the Bucks in the second half 66-46. And like I said, this Magic team had everything to play for. The Bucks dropped from the 2nd to the 3 seed, and then the Magic continue to hold their spot at the number 5 seed, and the Magic are now going to be playing the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round of this year's postseason. And we're going to get a full playoff preview at another time this week. I'll go ahead and make a video for you guys talking about that, but I really just want to overemphasize and talk about how important last night's game was, and really talk about some of the accomplishments that this team has really put forth this past season for this Orlando Magic community. Now, with the regular season officially coming to an end for this Orlando Magic team, let's talk about some of their accomplishments and let's really give them their flowers and their respect. The Orlando Magic finished this season with a record of 47-35 as the number 5 seed in the Eastern Conference. This was their best record since the 2010-11 season, where they were 52-30 that season and the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference. That was actually the last season the Orlando Magic even won a playoff series, and now they have an opportunity to do that this year versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Talk about individual performances. Paolo Banchero became the first All-Star for this Orlando Magic squad since Nikola Vucevic did it back in 2018-19 and in 2020-2021. Banchero this season averaged 22.6 points per game, 6.9 rebounds per game, 5.4 assists per game. He shot 45.5% from the field and 33.9% from three-point range. His scoring, all of his numbers, and his efficiency was significantly up from his rookie season, and you saw big strides from Banchero. And just to really put into its proper perspective just how phenomenal Paolo Banchero was in his sophomore campaign, take a look at this stat. At 21 years, 154 days old, Banchero became the youngest player in NBA history to lead his team in scoring, rebounding, and assists in a single season. There have been only 4 other players younger than the age of 23 to have accomplished that feat. That list includes Michael Jordan, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Maurice Stokes, and Kevin Garnett. That is elite company for a guy like Paolo Banchero with his size, his stature, his frame, his maturity, and his growth and his production on and off the court. He has been nothing short of sensational. And this season, getting to the postseason, really continues to solidify just how correct Jeff Weltman in this front office was for selecting Paolo Banchero with the #1 overall pick. And before I continue to go on about Banchero and really just how impressive he was this season, listen to what this Orlando Magic squad did this year at the Kia Center. They were phenomenal protecting their home court. Orlando finished with a home record of 29-12, tied for their third best since the 99-2000 season, and they had the third best home record in the Eastern Conference this season, just behind the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks. And as somebody who was covering every single home game for this team, the energy and the atmosphere from the fans was incredible all season long. Some notable ones were not just the home opener versus the Houston Rockets, also the in-season tournament game versus the Boston Celtics, also the game versus the defending reigning NBA champions in the Denver Nuggets. There were so many notable home performances that the Magic put on a show, and the crowd was just absolutely ballistic. What a hell of a season it was from the Orlando Magic on their home court at the Kia Center. Now, I want to continue to talk about Paolo Banchero a little bit more in depth. I'm obviously not going to go over every player, but listen to what Coach Mosley said last night in his post-game presser after the victory over the Milwaukee Bucks about Paolo Banchero rising to the occasion when his team needed it the most. Mosley stated, "He's special. I'll keep saying it over and over again. The young man is special. Because of the way he just wants to win, finding ways to win, whatever that looks like. I talked to him at one of the points just saying, I'm going to keep you going. Let him go into that fourth quarter, which he hadn't done, and he accepts it, wants it, and is going to try to make them do the right thing throughout the game. So for us to understand who he is and what he's done, it's in good hands because of the type of man that he is." And listen to Coach Mosley's quote about the team's maturity level and being able to stay level-headed in moments like this, like they had faced last night. Mosley stated, "Because of the experience we've been through throughout the year, where we may have gotten away from ourselves and the things that we've done, and I don't think they did that tonight. I thought they were poised. I thought they were patient. I thought they did a great job of understanding the moment, but knowing that we were going to do it defensively first, and then offensively. Let it flow and keep trusting each other." And they trust each other. They hit some big shots and they made some big passes, some big plays, but it was our defense that sparked everything from our offensive side of the floor. And that leads me into my next point. The Magic's calling card all season long has been on the defensive end of the ball, and they have been stout all season long, and expect that to continue into the postseason, even with a team that does not have much postseason experience. Talk about what Orlando has done defensively this season. They were 4th in opponent points per game at 108.4. They were number 2 in defensive efficiency, number 5 in steals per game with 8.2. And listen to this stat. Jonathan Isaac, who only appeared in 58 games this season, but nonetheless, that was incredible. Jonathan Isaac finished 2nd behind Rudy Gobert with a 104.5 defensive rating this season with at least 50 games played. Jonathan Isaac has proven to the NBA community time and time again, when he is on the floor, he not only makes this Orlando Magic team so much better, he is one of the most versatile defenders this game has ever seen in his impact level. If we can consistently get Jonathan Isaac to play 25 to 30 minutes a night, not just into the postseason, but moving forward, continuing to keep him healthy and remaining on the floor, this is going to go down as one of the most impactful defenders in NBA history. And of course, you have to give a lot of credit to Jalen Suggs, who I believe should be first or second team all defensive team. He's been incredible. He's the head of the snake for the team. He's the guy that consistently is bringing that energy and that juice on the defensive side of the ball. Enough cannot be said about the job that Jonathan Isaac, Jalen Suggs, and this entire Orlando Magic team has done this season on the defensive side of the ball. This season for the Orlando Magic has truly been a special season, and I don't believe that we are done. I truly believe that we are going to give the Cleveland Cavaliers everything that we've got, as long as we continue to remain healthy, continue trusting one another, and at least shoot somewhat respectively from distance. I do believe that this Orlando Magic team is going to continue to make noise in the postseason, and I do believe at the end of the day, this experience, and no matter how far we get into the postseason, this season has been successful. They have overachieved and exceeded expectations, including that of our own Orlando Magic fan base, including mine. This Magic team, no matter what happens, I want you guys to understand that this season was valuable from start to finish. The experiences, the adversity, and all of the turmoil that this team has had to face, and all of the accomplishments. No matter how this postseason plays out, I want you guys just to understand that we have such a bright future. There is going to be a revamped team going into next season, and this Orlando Magic team is only going to continue to get better, including Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner, the two guys that lead this Orlando Magic team. Magic fans, please let us know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below about what you guys made of last night's victory over the Milwaukee Bucks, punching their ticket into this postseason, and really just your overall thoughts and emotions about how this 2023-24 season has played out for this Orlando Magic squad. Magic fans, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. And like I mentioned earlier, make sure you guys go ahead and drop me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe bell to stay tuned for more Orlando Magic content that we do here on YouTube. And make sure you guys also go ahead and follow me, Brett James, and Orlando Magic HQ on all of our socials, especially on Twitter. We're both active and we're on there every single day. Magic fans, make sure you guys stay tuned because I will have a full Cleveland Cavaliers Orlando Magic playoff preview coming out in these next couple of days, so make sure that you guys stay tuned for that. But thank you guys again for sticking around throughout the whole video. Brett James, aka BJ, I'm out, y'all, and like always, let's go Magic.